Hi, it's Katie here with a introduction to all the basic essential concepts, practices, and ideas that can bring you into this frame and also keep you properly confused. Not off balance confused, but curious and confused. And so right now I'd just like you to contemplate yin and yang as tendencies, not destinies. So we so often contemplate yin and yang and masculine and feminine as either or. And I'm encouraging you to contemplate them like a piece of paper with two sides to the paper or one magnet. So I have yin and yang tendencies. You have yin and yang tendencies. Not I am yin or yang and you are yin or yang. That said, generally speaking, yang tends to be more visible and yin tends to be more hidden. So, what a thing is as yin or yang is also kind of dependent on the context in which it occurs. Um, a nice example of that you could contemplate might be how hot you like your food, how spicy you like your food. If you like your food much more spicy than I do, I might say, wow, you like really yang food. You like hot food. But if I like spicy food more than you do, you might think my tastes are yang, my tastes are hot and spicy. So it's also kind of relative. And that is a massively good piece of news for humans who experience complex trauma, neurodivergence, and pain. I'm encouraging us to contemplate homeostasis rather than nervous system regulation when we're coming into the frame of Chinese medicine, because Chinese medicine doesn't seek to regulate, it seeks to provide a context for calm, a context for growth, a context for safety and security. And a lot of that will be inside of us. And so organisms seek homeostasis. Regulation is a factor of our natural biologic processes. But as a whole, as human, we are looking for homeostasis. And this is the word that biology uses. This is the word that affective neuroscience uses. I know that we're very excited about nervous system regulation and the window of tolerance. I know. Let's also contemplate that those are states that we can move in and out of. Homeostasis is the general seeking, it's the general tendency. It's what is going to help you and me experience safety and security, is when we have a situation, a context, an environment for it. The experience of being with power with another human is the experience of flow, safety, and security. And Taoism has mechanisms to plan for and contemplate that in a real way. It's just kind of wiggly. We have to go to a few different locations, a few different ways of contemplating to find it. And that encourages what I call this proper confusion, where there's just always like, hmm, hmm. Not great if I need to measure how much cancer I have. Very good if I have had cancer and I'm in the world and I have had the experience and the trauma of that, and I'm integrating that experience into my life. I'm integrating it. Tensegrity is both a design principle and an architecture idea. As architecture, tensegrity has to do with the resilience that a structure has through geometry. And you might be the most familiar with it through Buckminster Fuller geodesic domes it also shows up all over the place in indigenous architecture and structures. So it has to do with resilience in one structure, big structure. It also has to do with how we would seed a neural net to grow, or how I would, if I'm being an information architect, how I would contemplate guiding you through ideas. I would want to do that so that your experience is smooth, so that you have a lived experience of ease. This also helps with things like scaling, and it mirrors and mimics the way that our brain's experience of neuroplasticity occurs, which is through trines. It's through threes, not twos. So tensegrity says there are three things: two things that are relatively fixed and one that can move. Two things that are relatively fixed and one that can move. And that one that can move might stay movable, but maybe it's fixed in another context. From a helper position, from a human who is assisting other humans with complex trauma, this is a wonderful space because it gives us the space to be the experts, to understand what we know, to share the tools, and then to see how it works, to see how it lands, to look at it and check into it rather than to be sure that somebody's measuring up against a thing. This is a much more organic way to contemplate a human. Biotensegrity speaks to the actual genuine architecture of our tissue, which is itself a tensegrity structure. So all of your fascia, the fascia that we have also has tensegrity to it. It's called biotensegrity. Very simple. And this biotensegrity, this architecture of our fascia, influences the morphology of our body. Our fascia carries pain signals to and from our brain. Our connective tissue is what gives us the experience of proprioception, of knowing where we are in space, of exteroception, of existing in an environment. We experience that through our tissues. And lucky for us, it's a mirrored reality. And so, what that does from an alchemical perspective as it relates to psycho emotional pain, it's very clear we can address something here and it'll have an effect here. And so, as we're now moving into the Shen, these entities that help us experience relief emotionally, understand that they're working through biotensegrity. So, Shen are actual Chinese medicine entities. I'm placing them in the concept of biotensegrity. They help us with the experience of power with, of Wu Wei. The water element in our whole body is housed and contained in the kidneys. This does not mean all water in the body lives in the kidneys. It's just where Chinese medicine places the water element. Kidneys are contemplated as the gate of life. So they're where we experience fight, flight, freeze. And the emotions associated with the kidneys are shock and calm. And my cat agrees. So, what you do to tone the kidneys is you do the breath. It sounds like chew, CHOOOOOOO. So, you look to the target that I have there, smile to your kidneys on the inside. As you breathe in calm. Ji will take the shock out with chew. Inhale. Nice and easy. It tempers the waters, smooths out the surface, and helps the water in our bodies become the mirror. So we place anger and forgiveness in the liver in this system. And what I invite you to do is smile towards your liver. Liver governs blood. It is the main filter for the body. It's paired with the large intestine. So this also is speaking to our experience of digestion. The sound is shh, and the emotions are anger and forgiveness. So breathe in forgiveness and let go of anger with shush. Shh. So simple. Breathe in and out. Inhale, exhale. Nice, 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 nice. The sound to bring courage into your experience and to let grief out a little bit is S. Nice and simple. It occurs in our lungs, and the spirit, the entity, the Shen is called Po. S, 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 S. When we do these breaths, one of the side effects is as you're cultivating the positive and negative experience, which, by the way, is not good or bad, it's positive or negative, shame has a way out. Shame has a way out. So we can have the full experience of courage and grief and encourage shame to find a way out. If you've ever been up all night worrying about something, or if you experience the loops, the autistic loops that we do, this is the sound for you and the organ. It's your spleen, not your stomach. So we're looking for fullness with this work. And the stomach is going to be active because it empties and fills. Spleen is a gland. It does so much for our immune system. Oh my gosh. And there was just research last year on mice showing that if they stimulated the vagus nerve, the spleen took action. So we can bypass the vagus nerve and just hang out with the spleen. The sound is like an owl. WHOOOO. This is the earth element in the body. This is our immunity. And toning the spleen does help to bring fullness into an area that is often so lacking, so hungry, so desiring. And to let go of some of that worry. Fields of wheat bending in the wind, sometimes I think of. Nice. The spirit of the heart is the main spirit of all of our organs. She's called Shen, Shen. And it's your actual beating muscle. Heart and small intestine go together. And the sound is ha. So it's joyful love and hate. And again, these are not positive, negative, good, bad. They're positive, negative, like poles on a magnet. Okay? So we're going to cultivate love and joy and let go of hate with ha. This can be an activating breath for some folks. If it's too activating, please either don't do it, do less, or just contemplate. Just think it and breathe normal. good for cardiovascular experiences as well.